Nelson Mandela came into the White House for you guys as well. Can you walk us through that experience too?
Yeah, of course, Bill Clinton was president at the time, and we all obviously found out that we all saw how Nelson Mandela won the election in South Africa, and so his first outing as a head of state of South Africa was to come to America, and so we had a state dinner for him. So that was 94 maybe. I think that was in 1994. And so that was a pretty, yeah, the menu and stuff was important and everything else, but just the whole ideal of what this man has gone through in his life and then achieved president of South Africa was just incredible. That was a very magical evening. It was one of those days that you're like pinching yourself, go, "Wow, is this really happening? This is pretty cool stuff." Mhm.
Wow. Would you say you made him?
We collaborated actually. They wanted a little bit of an input from a local Afro American chef. He was just a couple blocks away at the Hay Adams Hotel. His name was Patrick Clark. He was also in New York City for a while, and so he kind of came up with a bit of a concept for the entree. We did a seared halibut with a sesame. I think it was a sesame scented a tomato broth. And then some vegetables and what have you, and so that was the main entree. And I have to look back so many meals since then there, to see what the
Yeah.
rest of it is. But it was definitely halibut with the sesame tomato broth.
Wow. Yeah. And so then I guess along with 9/11, Nelson Mandela, were there what other I guess big events to stick out in your mind come to memory when you think about your time at the White House?
Mhm. I thought one kind of cool thing was when George W. Bush, once we got our world back a little bit, he started having these little t-ball games. They bring in these young kids, and they do like 2 innings or so, and then Bob Costco would come in and he'd do the play-by-play with them, and we'd have it on the South grounds on like a I don't know, like a Sunday afternoon or something like that, and that was kind of fun to see that kind of stuff. And other things too. You never know who's walking, who you might be serving. I mean, um, there was a a luncheon that I was in charge of, and it's just the only information we got was it was a Sarah Lee Frontrunners Awards luncheon that was in like '98 or '99, and it was gonna be like 110 people on like a Tuesday afternoon. It was in the fall. It was like I think it was like October, November when the lunch was going to be. So I was handed the responsibility of coming up with the menu concept, and so I did. And I had like a Hubbard squash soup, and I was going to do like a pesto filled chicken breast with a goat cheese and potato puree, and then I made this vegetable tuile with herbs in it to put on top of it, and I picked up some local broccoli from a local farm to bring that in, and so it was like picked the day before. So when you blanch it, when it's freshly cut, the chlorophyll is so strong. Still, it's so green. And if you blanch it properly, it just stays so green. So we're able to keep that broccoli looking really beautiful green. So it was something along that line. So I came up with the menu concept. It sailed through, no problems. It got approved, and then a day of, if it's your menu, you are the chef of the day. The head chef's working for you. I'm bringing it all together. We're getting to the point of service, and we're going from the ground floor kitchen is right underneath the state dining room. And it's a not a bad sized kitchen, but it's not like a big commercial kitchen either. So, but you go to the elevator, we go up one story and get off there. That's the state floor, and we would go into this room next to the state dining room. We called it the family dining room, and we would set up in there and then plate it up, give it to the butlers, and they would walk right into the state dining room with all the meals. So that was the object that morning. So I'm getting ready to head up to do that. We're pushing and shoving, and then a butler came in the kitchen and said, "Julia Child just walked in the dining room." I was like, "Oh, holy crap!" you know. I mean, I mean, I mean, yes, I served a lot of kings, queens, and prime ministers, but this is Julia Child, and one of my heroes of my time. And I was like, oh my God, I mean, is everything gonna be okay? Do I need to do something different? I mean, is everything okay? Is everything okay? And I was like, after a couple of minutes, I'm not gonna lie, I panicked for a couple of minutes, thinking, "Holy my goodness, I can't believe this is actually happening right now." I said, "John, just do what you normally do and just make it happen." So I did. I mean, we just started moving along, and we did the luncheon like we normally do. After we cleaned up and came down to the main kitchen, we are down there kind of cleaning up and kind of finishing up that everything that came back from the luncheon, and all of a sudden around the corner, we heard this hello, hello, and it was Julia Child. She came in the kitchen. She thanked us for a job well done. We chatted for a moment. One of the cooks that we were working with, she had a camera, so I got a picture together with everybody from the kitchen crew that day, and then also see if I have and so I was like, wow, that's a pretty cool day there, you know. And then about a week later, I was up in the usher's office, and the usher on duty said to me, "Hey, John, that your luncheon last week when Julia Child was here?" And I said, "Yes, it was." He said, "You might want to see this." So he showed me this letter, and it says October 26, 1999, Hillary Rodham Clinton, the White House, Washington D.C. Dear Mrs. Clinton, how very kind of you to host a luncheon for all of us the other day in your beautiful White House. I have been there several times, starting with the LBJ administration, where everything was beautifully handled. During subsequent visits, I was not as impressed. But when I returned for the Sara Lee Frontrunners Awards luncheon, I was delighted to find the White House sparkling and the service beautiful and attentive and the food delicious. It was a very heartwarming experience. Thank you so much with all good wishes, Julia Child. And so when I saw
Wow.
that, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I say, hey, you might make a photocopy of that? And then so I I have a beginning of my book. I start that with that the story of Julia Child and that day in the White House, and there's actually a picture of what the meal looked like that day. The social secretary really enjoyed it, and they dropped it on a table in the red room. The White House photographer took a picture of it, and if you or your food is in a picture within a day or so, you have it's in your mailbox. So it was nice. Also, every once in a while, you get these pictures show up in your mailbox of things, you know. So, and then here's a picture with Julia Child and us in the kitchen, uh,
Okay. Oh,
doing
awesome.
doing our thing that day. And then also there's the menu card. You can. I was very vigilant. I saved all these menu cards from
Yeah.
uh, from that. We had our own calligraphy department that would create these menu cards for all the official events that go on, and I have about 450 of them. So when I went to write the book here, I wanted to utilize those cards only. So I really didn't make the recipes centered around personal meals. I centered around all the official menus, and that was a little different than my predecessors who had written books about the White House, who were chefs there. They pretty much wrote menus and recipes about the day-to-day eating. So I wanted to showcase those menu cards and give you a little different flair of them all, and go that route, you know. So that was that's like I said, that was a good day.